Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of nothing new, which is a series that I do here on my channel where I go back into my makeup collection and I use things that I already own. I wanted to do a fall inspired full face of nothing new today, and I came across the Tarte Beauty Textured Neutrals palette, and I thought, you know what, I need to use this, and I need to use like the oranges and the browns in here. So that's the plan. I also have a ton of other products that I haven't been able to use in a while that I'm really excited to use again. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to start with my eyes actually, and I'm going to do my brows later today. So I'm actually going to start off my eye look with my NARS Tinted Smudgeproof eyeshadow base. This is in the shade Medium. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of apply that all over the lids. I'm just going to blend it out with my finger today. So I was looking through my saved posts on Instagram to see if I could get any inspiration for like a fall look. I'm going to put the photo right here. This is by Jose Corella. He's one of my favorite makeup artists to follow on Instagram. I love how he did this kind of smoky cat eye, but the eyelid is a really beautiful orange. And I felt like the oranges in the Tarte Beauty palette could kind of give a similar effect. It might not be identical, but I want to do something similar. So I'm going to start off with the Soothe Matte shade, and I'm just going to start working this into the crease and then a little bit above as my transition shade. And I'm going to try to attempt to create that super like lifted eye look, just like he did. So I'm kind of bringing it out toward the end of the brow a little bit more. Okay, same thing on this side. Okay, after I have a pretty decent shape, I'm going to go ahead and deepen things up with the matte dark brown shade in the palette right here called Ritual. Ooh, this one's so pigmented, I forgot. I'm just taking a little bit of that, and I'm wanting most of the pigment to be right up against the lash line, and then it looks like he kind of smokes it up and out a little bit, just like he did with the lighter brown shade, so I'm going to attempt that. I'm also bringing what's left into the crease a little. I'm going back in with that first brush just to try to soften the edges a little more. And then I'm going back in with another layer right up against the lash line to really make sure we get that depth on the outer corner. All right, I'm going to try to match that on the other eye. I'm kind of taking my time to try to get that shape right, even if it means going back and forth a couple of times to really make sure that it's blended. Okay, I might touch this up again later, but I want to kind of lay down like the general color first. So we're moving on to the orange color. I'm going to take the matte shade Story. I just want to kind of lay down the orange first, and then we can put on like the shimmery shade. But this is going to be my all over lid color, which I don't think I've ever used this shade like on the lid before. So this could be kind of fun. I'm just going to go ahead and focus this on the lash line area, and then I'm stopping at the crease. Same thing on this side. Just basically filling in the areas that we did not yet apply shadow. And I want this to be pretty intense, so I'm continuing to layer it up, especially right up against the lash line. And then I'm just taking that first brush we used, and I'm just making sure that the edges are nice and blended. Okay, I'm going to take that same exact brush, and I'm going to dip into Story Metallic, because it does look like he has a little bit of shimmer on this inner portion. So I'm going to start by layering it up on just the inner portion. I might use my finger for this, hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna apply that with my finger. There we go. And just kind of tap it in that inner portion. I'm gonna try to leave a little bit of the matte in the center of the lid and focus that shimmer on the very, very inner portion of where the orange begins. I'm just going back in one more time with that brush. Again, just to make sure that everything is super blended and that the edges are nice and extended outward. I am gonna clean up the edges a little bit more with a makeup wipe in a second. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that matte Ritual shade just because I really, really want that depth on the outer corner. So I'm just adding a bit more. And then I'm just going in with a clean brush right up against the brow and smoothing the edges out one more time. Okay, now I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and I'm gonna kind of start lower and then really create a nice angle up toward the end of the brow to make the eye look more lifted. All right, once I've got the shape, I'm just gonna take my finger and press the edge down so it's not too harsh, but I do want a little bit more of that elongated shape on the edge of the eye because that's what he has in the photo that I'm referencing. So while I don't want it to be too harsh, I do still want it to have a little more of an intense shape to it. Okay, I'm just gonna use the makeup wipe to wipe away any other fallout on this inner portion right underneath the eye. Okay, let's move on to complexion. I really wanted to use the MAC Strobe Cream. I have mine in the shade Pink Light. I just really want to do a more glowy complexion today. So I'm going to take this on my hands and just apply it all over the face. All right, once that's applied and blended out, I'm going to take my Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation. This is a really nice foundation for a nice fresh skin look, which is again what I'm going for. So I'm just going to take one pump of this to start, and I'm going to begin just evenly distributing that all over the face with my Charlotte Tilbury foundation brush. I'm trying to train myself in a way to get used to the idea of if I want to do like a more bold eye that I don't have to do too heavy of a complexion, because for some reason I always feel like it's all or nothing in a lot of ways, where I do a smoky eye and then I feel like I have to have a full coverage foundation and everything. But I'm learning that you can really combine the two and do something nice and bold on the eyes with a really nice fresh complexion. So that's what I'm going to attempt today. I'm just pressing that in to the complexion with my sponge. I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the shade Ivory. I'm just going to do a bit of concealer under the eyes, and I'm actually going to go straight in with my sponge to blend this out. And since it is a more intense eye look, I do want the under eyes to be nice and concealed, but I didn't overload the under eye area. And also, as I'm blending it out, I'm trying to be very careful of those edges we created. I do not want to mess those up. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this KKW Beauty Bake Powder. I'm almost out of this. I'm going to use this to set the under eye area. So with a little powder brush. Again, I'm being careful of the edges of my eyeshadow. And then to set the rest of the complexion, I wanted to use my Clinique Uplighting Illuminating Powder. This is a finishing powder and a highlighter. So I'm just going to take it on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to just press that onto the outer portions of the face. Again, just to kind of create that more fresh complexion. All right, we're going to finish up the eye look. Let me see what's on the lower lash line. Okay, it just looks like there's a little bit of brown shadow smudged. So I'm going to start off with the shade Ritual. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of this. It's a very pigmented shade. And I'm going to focus this right up against the lash line. I'm trying to make it a little bit tighter on the inner corner. And then as I move out toward the outer edge, the depth increases and the intensity increases. And it also gets a little bit wider to connect to that shape on that outer portion. And then to me, it looks like she has a bronze waterline. So I'm going to take the Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil in the shade Roach. And I'm just going to line the waterline with this. I'm going back in with that brush we used on the top lid to just blend. It's pretty much a clean brush, and I'm just using that to buff out the edges to make them a little softer while still maintaining that kind of precise shape. Then I'm going to go into my Thrive Causemetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara, and I'm going to do a pretty hefty coat on the top and bottom lashes. Okay, I'm just running a little bit of what's left on that powder brush through the brows. I'm just going to fill my brows really quickly using my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4. Oh my gosh, I'm almost out of this. Good thing I do have a backup. And he kept the brows pretty feathery on this inner portion, and then they do get a little more defined on this outer part. So that's what I'm going to recreate. Okay, the brows are on. She has really gorgeous luminous bronze skin, so I wanted to use my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It Bronzer. It's been so long since I've used this. I love this stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and take that on a bronzer brush and just start placing this around the perimeters of the face. So forehead, along the cheeks. I'm going to apply some along the jawline as well, and then down the neck. I'm going to take a little bit of the Tarte Exposed Blush, and I'm just going to smile and apply it right here to the apples of the cheeks. Just for a little bit of color, but I want the eyes to be the focal point, so the blush isn't going to be too bright. I'm just going to really quickly go over the entire complexion with my sponge just to make sure the blush and the bronzer and all the powders are just nice and meshed into the skin. Okay, I'm wiping off any foundation that got on the lips. And I'm going to go into this e.l.f. Retro Paradise lip liner. I don't know what shade this is. It doesn't say. I'll make sure to write it in the description box. I'm just going to go ahead and line the lips with this. And normally I fill in the lips, but I do want to kind of keep it a little more defined on the edges. So I'm just going to keep the lip liner to the edges alone. Then I'm going to take my Almay Lip Vibes lipstick. This one right here in the shade Never Regret. And I'm going to put that in the center. Then I'm going to take my finger to blend the two together. All right, I'm just stepping back and assessing the situation. I'm using that powder brush to just blend the bronzer a little more. And I was going to put highlighter on, but I feel like that finishing powder gave the skin an overall glow anyway, plus the strobe cream that I applied underneath. So I'm just going to skip highlighter today. I'm just going to go over everything one more time with my sponge. And I forgot to grab a setting spray, so we're just going to skip it today. I'm not really going anywhere anyway. But if you were following along and you needed your makeup to last, be sure to set it with a setting spray. I'm going to go in with my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter just to lock in those brows. I'm just kind of making sure that that shimmer shade comes down onto the inner corner. I didn't add any more to my finger. I'm just kind of dragging what was existing into that inner corner. It doesn't look like she had a different color inner corner highlight. It just looks like it came from the top lid, so that's what I'm gonna leave. It's just that shimmer shade right there. But I really, really like how this turned out. I think it's definitely perfect for fall. I really love the elongated eye shape, and I love the orange on the eyelid. I don't know why I've never thought to do that before. Usually with oranges, especially that deep of an orangey red, I use it on the outer portion, but I think it looks really, really cool on the eyelid. It's perfect for fall. I would love to see if you guys recreate this, so tag me on Instagram if you guys recreate this look using the Tarte Beauty palette or whatever palette you have that might be similar. I would love to see your recreations, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this type of a look with an orange lid. So that was so fun. I always love doing these videos because it gives me a chance and you guys a chance as viewers to just take a break from new launches and reviews and just enjoy the makeup that we already have and focus more on like creating an actual makeup look versus a review or a tutorial that's like product specific, if that makes sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. If you like these full face of nothing new videos, I have an entire playlist of so many different episodes. So if you guys want to keep watching videos like this, I'll have the playlist in the description box down below. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.